Hi, this is Julianne with Life Edit and Design. And today, as we continue our fall series, I wanted to give you something more tactical. So, we've done a lot of mental mindset work, and I really wanted to give you something that was more tactical so that you could really put some of that mindset work into place. So, what I created was a fun little letting go challenge. So, one of our major themes for the fall is letting go. So, let me get myself out of the picture here. And so I created a little challenge. So if you're one of my students, one of the Be More, Have More, Do More students, then you can get this database. It'll be right there in the dashboard in your Teachery dashboard. But if you're not, you can just follow along. You can create this on your own. It's not that hard to do. But I wanted to just kind of get you into practice, though. It's not just the lip service, it's actually doing something. So this is the Letting Go Challenge, and create this own database, again, if you're not one of my students. But the idea is to feel lighter, right? The whole purpose, right? One of the things that we do with the fall is making decisions and letting go. So it's the harvest. What are you going to keep? What are you going to store away for the future? What are you going to let go? What are you going to plant for next year? All of that happens in this season. So it's a very, very busy season that kind of precedes the winter season where it's really more reflective. So here we're very busy, we're doing a lot, and I thought it would be great to do a letting go challenge that not a whole declutter because that can just be overwhelming. So this is just a fun 4-week challenge to help you embrace that spirit of making decisions about what to keep and what to let go of. So the first thing on the database is just a spot where you can put your reflections on the experience. So as you go through and do this, you might want to just jot some things. So I kept it at the top so that you would be thinking as you go through. Don't just do it, but reflect on how this whole experience is going. And so in the end, you'll have this right here at the top. And then I used a board system so that you could see the board. So there's, again, it's 4 weeks. And the first week, I thought we'd just start with the wardrobe. So you're going to create a card system if you don't already have my database, and I'll shoot myself over to here. And so I have two little scales here. This is a before and after scale. So if you click on it, you're going to pick a scale of, how do you feel as far as heaviness? Like, do you feel very heavy? Do you feel moderately heavy, moderately light, or very light? So you're going to rank your before. So before you do this week challenge, how are you feeling? And then you'll come back later and mark how you feel afterwards. Has it changed? Have you felt, again, our objective here is to feel lighter, to let go of some things. So you wanted to have a before and after score just to see how well that worked. And then you have a level here. So I want you to give yourself a grade as you go through it. Did you, get a bronze level where you feel like, yeah, I got rid of a couple of things? Did you do silver, which is you filled it just the way it is? Or did you do gold, which meant you went above and beyond? So again, these are just an idea. You can obviously change these to fit what works for you. But I just thought it would be kind of a fun way to say, yeah, I got into it. I did something. I met the expectations, or I went above and beyond. So you'll give yourself a score after you're done. So here is the goal. So we want to get rid of 5 or more things that are weighing down your wardrobe. And again, this isn't meant to be this whole house declutter. That to me feels heavy, right? I want this to be very simple, 2 to 3 minutes a day. And that's what all of these weeks, it's all just 2 to 3 minutes a day. So on day 1, it's just go through your socks and underwear drawer and find one thing. Just one thing, a pair of socks that have a hole in it, a pair of underwear that you never wear because it shows through your clothing or whatever. Just something, maybe a bra that's so uncomfortable you never wear it. Something like that. Just go through, take one thing out, and you're done. That's it for the day. The next day, come back and go through your tops and find one top that you're just not excited to wear. That, again, when you walk into your closet and you look at it, it feels heavy. That's what your clue is. So if you walk in and something feels heavy, that's the item you want to let go. So tops, bottoms, shoes, and accessories. Very, very simple, 2 to 3 minutes a day. Now, if you're in there and you're in your sock drawer and you're like, oh my God, there's like 10 socks I never wear, then get rid of all of them. You don't have to just stop at one. And that's kind of goes back into your score here. If you go above and beyond, you can start to give yourself a higher score when this week is over. So you might want to list what you gave away. You might say 10 socks. You might say whether you donated them, whether you tossed them. I kind of left that up to you as to what you want to fill in this list piece. So you could list each item. You could take photos if you want. But again, I meant for this to be a 2 to 3 minutes per day. So really don't go overboard. Don't go crazy. If you're somebody who's like taking out your camera, it's just no way, then don't worry about it. Just list, what did you do? Very, very simple. Okay. So I don't want you to overcomplicate things. This is about letting go and feeling lighter, not adding to your to-do list. So you might want to pick a same time of day each day to do this challenge, maybe first thing in the morning, or as you're coming home, maybe after work or at the end of the day, and you're getting ready to change for the day. You might just want to go in and take a quick peek at what you've got. So week 1 is just doing your wardrobe. Week 2, we're going to look at shelves. So we're going to go through your house and look at all those wonderful shelves all over your house and try to get rid of things. So first thing, maybe look at your bookshelves. We may have books all over the place, but find one shelf and find one book that you can donate, or that's just it's you're never going to read it again. Find someone you could give it to, move it on. Sometimes it makes a nice Christmas gift if you want to pass on a book and write, inscribe something inside to say, what this book meant to you and that you're passing it on because you hope that it will help somebody else. So go through day one as your books. Day two is just knickknacks. Like, do you have these cute little things all over that you really don't even see anymore? You've seen them so much you no longer see them. Again, maybe you can pass them on for somebody else, or maybe you can donate them. Dust gatherers is kind of like knickknacks, but it's just those things on your shelf that you don't even know why they're there. And we all have that. Maybe it's a stack of papers that's just sitting there. Maybe it's paraphernalia like paper clips or, tape. I don't know. Just are there things on your shelf that's just there to gather dust and it just annoys you every time you see it? Maybe it's a stuffed animal and it's just like, oh, needs to go. Then things that belong somewhere else. So are there things on your shelves that have just landed there because it's a flat surface? We have a cleaning duty that's called flat surfaces. It just means go around and look at all the flat surfaces and put things away. So is there things on your shelf that need to go somewhere else or that you need to be either put away or gotten rid of? So day 4 is just things that don't belong on that shelf. And day 5 is journals, photo albums, planners, things like that. This is probably the hardest one, but this is also the one that really makes you feel heavy. Like if you look every time at your bookshelf and there's a photo album that you never go through, and every time you see it, you feel heavy about it, maybe it's time to pass that photo album to somebody else. Maybe it's time to just let it go. I have somebody I know that just got rid of all their photo albums. She said, she scanned the pictures that really had meaning to her and got rid of the rest and just let it go. So these could be things that are very, very heavy. That's why I put it at the end, because you might want to give yourself a little bit of time before you gear up for some of this. If it's a journal that you can't even read anymore because your handwriting was so messy or it's damaged or it just doesn't carry meaning for you, those are the things you want to look at to get rid of. And just one. You don't have to do it all. Just practice getting rid of one. Again, what you're going for is that feeling of lighter. So that before and after feeling. So if you felt really heavy when you looked at your shelves, do you feel a little bit lighter after doing this? So that is shelves in week 2. Week 3 is dive into the kitchen and the cabinets. We spend a lot of time in the kitchen. I hate cooking, so for me, the kitchen's a bit of a drag. It's not a place I want to go to and spend a whole lot of time. So if it's messy, dirty, disorganized, that really bothers me and really drives me crazy. And I'm sorry, Notion's taking a second to load here. So in the cabinets, again, just 2 to 3 minutes a day, getting rid of 5 things. So go to your flatware and utensils. Do you have triplicates of something that you could just get rid of one? Do you have a garlic press you've never used? Do you have forks that are bent, or things that are just stained beyond belief? Get rid of something, a fork, a knife, something. And then day 2 is your cups, glasses, and mugs that we all have way too many of those, right? We always seem to collect them. That's something that seems to come free a lot. So if you have mugs that were like, oh my God, I'll never use this mug. Why is it still sitting there? Let it go. Dishware, do you have chipped dishes? Do you have, again, those oddball dishes that maybe came from college or your kids' college, or just something that just needs to go? Are you collecting dishware from other people that maybe they gave you a platter of cookies and you just never returned the dish? Return the dish. Something to do something in your dishware. Then pots and pans, again, these tend to pile up, and you might have a pot that or a pan that you use that's so scratched and damaged and you feel bad every time you take it out, then maybe it's time to replace something. So not just letting go, but maybe it's time to replace something that's really damaged and you just don't feel good every time you use it. And then usually in the kitchen, there is that under the sink spot. So you're cleaning in your paper products. Is that just a total mess? Do you have cleaners in there that you never use? Or do you have some kind of, some kind of paper product, something you thought was really going to be helpful and you just never ever use it? So go through that under the sink cabinet and see what you can get rid of there and get rid of something or make it more organized. Maybe you have 12 rolls of paper towels stuffed in somewhere, and maybe you could put some in a bin and just get it out of your way, put it in the basement or a closet somewhere so that you're not overwhelming. So again, you want to feel lighter after you've gone through all your kitchen cabinets. So that's here. And again, this is just one. So if you have more cabinets and more categories than this, you don't have to hit them all. I'm just saying get through some of them. Okay, and then the final week is closets. So you've gone through your bedroom, but now what about all the other closets in the house? So linen closet, coat closet. If you have, I put cabinets, even though it's not a closet, but if you have a paper file, now's a great time to go through and just take out something. Maybe it's the tax returns that are more than 7 years old. Wouldn't that be great? One caution with that is you probably need to shred a lot, so that could feel heavy. So maybe you just take out one tax return and shred the things that have your personal information on it. Then if you have a spare or guest room, go ahead and go in that closet because that tends to be a spot where you stick stuff that you never want to look at again. Maybe there's a piece of luggage you'll never ever use and it's shoved up on the top shelf of a closet. Maybe it's time to get rid of that. And then the last thing is if you have a laundry closet or some other kind of catch-all closet, again, just one thing from each of these places and you're going to feel so much better. That is our goal. So after you've gone through all 4 weeks, that's when you're going to come back and say, list your experience. How did it go with your wardrobe? How did it go with your shelves, cabinets, and closets? So this is just meant to be a fun exercise, but a way to actually put into practice what you've done, or what the theme is for the month. So if our theme is decisions and letting go, and that's a big fall theme, I want you to actually put it in practice. All right, so that's it for this lesson. Again, you can recreate this yourself, or if you're one of the students, you will find this in your hub in Teachery. All right, take care, and we'll see you soon.